listening to the General Conversation podcast. I'm Valerie.
This is Cord.
You are listening to season 2, episode 7. Make sure you guys go check out our last episode, season 2, episode 6. We were just talking about random stuff, but we also had some good skits in there. We were talking about, petty, and we want you guys to go ahead and watch it and let us know what your pettiest moment is. Comment in the description below in the last episode. It was fun doing that episode, talking about relationships, and we're just gonna kind of carry on talking more about relationships. But I guess I want to talk about two shows that I have been watching. Kind of couldn't not watch. It's like you watch it, but you don't want to watch it. And the first show that I just want to, ask would you go on is, I guess I'll start with the one that is, I mean, it's like a train wreck. It's called Love After Lockup. And I know I can see the snippet. So, I just wanted Cordero to zoom into it and kind of check it out because he was like, what? But yeah, so these people have met the people on some kind of dating site. Like one couple, she met this guy. He was 7 years, and she met him on Plenty of Fish. So clearly, these people are having some sort of people that are locked up are having some kind of recreational way to the outside world to get on Plenty of Fish and take pictures. And it was funny. I'm not gonna go through all the couples, but she was just saying how I was on Plenty of Fish, and people know Plenty of Fish POC is not really. Oh, POF, that's people of color. cut that out. POF is, it's a dating site, but I guess I've been told because I haven't been on there, but I guess the dating site is, it's like the ratchet version of like a dating site. It's like a. Do you know about it? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
I know about Plenty of Fish. And
okay, so how would you describe it, Cordero?
Okay, during the time period that the young lady and the dude would have been on it, because I know they met like 7 years ago and stuff like that. During that time period, when it first came out, it's like your standard normal dating site. Now over the years, it has gotten like worse to where now you got a bunch of bots on there. The whole, everybody's using it to like scam and all that kind of stuff. Now, that has happened over the course of the years. Yes, I will say that. But just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, though, it's funny because cause I used to be on that site a lot. When it first came out and like that. And yeah, people, I have seen 2 profiles from women that were in prison.
Really?
Yeah,
so
because
they show the bars, like they show
they don't show the bars. You don't know. So
how do you know they're in prison? Is it the jail, the tire, the outfit?
Either they'll mention it in their profile, or they'll either mention it in their profile, or when you message them, they might tell you. So
gotcha.
The thing is, they'll take some pictures or whatever, but it'll be pictures of them in their street clothes, maybe some pictures they got before they got in jail.
Gotcha.
And then it'll be pictures of them in their jail uniform. But see, the thing is, they don't take pictures back. So it looks like, I was like, because I used to see them taking a picture against the wall. And so
right.
It's like, they in some kind of, because it's not orange. Like in some jails, the uniforms are different colors, right?
Right.
I've seen they were like beige. So I'm like, I never seen beige scrubs. What kind of uniform? Like, what's she work at?
What hospital shit?
Yeah, what hospital shit? They got beige scrubs? I guess. And then, you know what I'm saying? So they have like regular pictures on there. Like, they don't look quote unquote rough. They just like normal, whatever.
Right. Well, let me say this. I had I did work at a facility. In those facilities, like mine was a male one, but they get hair, like at the male facility that I worked at, they had people to come in and cut their hair and to do like things for them. And the girls, if you're in a woman, I don't know if it's everybody or if it's, well, this was more of a detention center, so this wasn't like a prison. So it could be different in the prison system, but in detention centers and stuff like that, they do get the like haircuts and stuff like
Right.
that. But it also, like I said, these were males and these were like considered juveniles. So maybe they treat the adult ones differently. I don't know, but I know
Mm.
like um we would have to, because I mainly work with the vendors, and so they would have people to come and like cut their hair. They just couldn't get a crazy style, you know what I'm saying, like
Right.
that.
Right.
And they couldn't have like dreads. Nobody was in there braiding their hair, so that's why a lot of times when you see somebody braiding their hair, somebody didn't sit. They didn't sit down between somebody's legs and
Right.
somebody didn't
Right.
braid their
Right.
hair. They didn't braid their own hair. I'm just saying, just being honest. Um, but they do have the same thing with women. And like I will say, those people there do get very creative while they're locked up, and they make their own makeup, and they will even tell you, like, even in this show, if you watch like a couple episodes, because this is not the first season that's been on, they'll say how they make their own moonshine or
Mhm.
alcohol, whatever. They'll make their own makeup. They do tattoos, and they'll get creative and find ways to like make themselves
Yeah. Ingenuity. Will is a way.
find a way to be in the outside world some sort of way. So, like I said, I wasn't really familiar with Plenty of Fish, but I had heard that the website for people who had went on there, like, yeah, it's a lot of scamming. It's a lot of people that you
Yeah,
don't know.
it has gotten it's tanked. The website has that site has definitely tanked over just the past, I say 4 or 5, maybe 6 years. So it has definitely just kind of like
Right. So I'm just saying, like, it's the fact that it's not screened. Like, I remember when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Christian Mingle just to see. Actually, it was like I got drunk and I was like, I'm gonna do Christian Mingle, and
you
I went
got
on
drunk
there and
and
I'm
want to
just,
do Christian Mingle. Mm.
yeah, I was cracking up the whole time. I was like cracking up and kind of like, oh my god, this is hilarious. But at the same time, I was like, what if it works though? Anyway, I was like, so I went on there. I didn't even finish the profile because it had so many questions, and I don't know if I think I got bored, and also filling the questionnaire out, I got bored, and also I felt like it was a little intrusive, and then I was drunk, so I was like, this won't work. So I didn't even get past it. So that's why I was like, I don't even see why people like. I don't know if Plenty of Fish screens, but it seemed like the one that I went on, it was screening, and I was like, I don't. To me, it just felt like it was asking many
Mm-hmm.
questions. But also, like I said, I was drunk. But anyway, this was some years ago. But yeah, so they meet them on these dating sites, and some sites there are sites to meet people like pen pal. Like it's not just Plenty of Fish; it's like pen pals for people who are in locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so that is the premise of the show with Love After Lockup. Um, Now, Kadira, let me just go back because you said when you were on Plenty of Fish, you saw that there were women locked up.
That's I
Where
run across two profiles to where it
two
was
profiles where they were, and you said they had some pictures that were regular and some people well in regular clothing, and then some pictures you just was like, oh, she in scrubs behind has a wall behind her.
right.
Would you have pursued her? Or those people?
No.
Right. So that's how I was just like, I know they talk about how these people are locked up and what they've done, but I'm like, I want to take a little deep dive into the person that is pursuing this person, like literally pursuing a person that is locked up. Like,
Right.
we can't put it all on a person like, oh, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Like, you literally pursuing a person that has maybe a drug problem, then sold drugs. And listen, I have no problem with you dating somebody that has a history. Ain't nobody perfect, right? I get it. You find love when you find love. But when you are pursuing someone who is locked up, they can't take you on a date. I ain't even talking about spending money like that. I mean, y'all can't take a walk. You can't talk when you want to. Even if they have cell phones and things in there, because they do get those kind of things inside the jail, the
Right.
prison. There's a certain like you're basically dating by yourself. And I know people like it's like a long distance. It's not like a long distance. He can fly, she can fly to come
Right.
see you any kind of
It's
time.
not like that
This
because
is not a long distance relationship. They got to go to bed at a certain time. This
yeah.
person in long distance can talk to you anytime they feel like they got to talk to you. It's a lot of things that you stop yourself from doing, and then the person gets out, and they're expecting these things too. A lot of times these people want to marry these people as soon as they get out, and it's like you only know a lot of times, like except for that lady, it's a rare case, and sometimes they be dealing with these people for a couple years, 2 years, 7 years. Like, okay, do you, boo? But and then they get married inside the jail. Okay, you committed. I get it. You
No, my thing is
are committed.
I can't subject myself to that kind of because I mean sometimes you look at it because it's public information, so you can go see what they locked up for and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
If they got locked up for lack of insurance, you know,
They're not gonna be. Hopefully,
heck,
they're not in there for 7 years for lack of
I
insurance.
don't. I'm just saying, just they for whatever, right?
Right.
Drug possession. Well, how many people locked up for weed?
No, a lot, a lot.
Right. So, but my thing is the reason I would not based on the person, it'd be based on the charge and the fact that I don't want to subject myself to, like you said, I can't take you on a date when I want to take you on a date. I can't see you when I want to see you. I can't. We got a certain window of time we can talk. You hide yourself under the pillow, or the guard come by. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna subject myself to all those restrictions. And now, if you get locked up, if we were together, then you get locked up. That's a totally different story versus
right.
Right.
See, you've already known that person.
Yeah.
You probably already invested that time. You've seen that person you've seen that person on the outside, and a lot of times these people
don't
like 90. No, I'm gonna say 100% of the time. I can say it. Every episode I've seen, none of these people have already known these people prior to them getting locked up.
Right.
They find them in the jail. It's like they're seeking them out. And even if they come on a dating site and they didn't know the person was in jail,
you find out
right?
eventually.
You find out, and you still choose to pursue this relationship. Here's another thing. One guy in this particular episode, this season, he has been locked up for 12 years. I think he went in when he was like, basically, he was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a girl on there that's like, you can tell she's so looking for love in any way, any form and fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has a child, and she's like, you just gotta watch the episode. I really just encourage you guys to go watch it, because it's just like, there's another dynamic on top of it. When you have, it's one thing to have you be into this person that you met online, that you met in jail or whatever, but when you have kids or you have a certain like lifestyle where you have other people depending on you, especially a young child like that, it does, I don't even want to get into that deeply, but you have to really be like, there's something that's amiss with this person, because I would never want my child to be in a situation where I'm making poor decisions. And let me tell you why it's poor decision. I don't care if she's been knowing this man for 2 years, 3 years, 8 years in jail. It's not even the fact that he's in jail. Like what he's in jail for. Let me say that. Not that he's in jail. You're dating somebody that's in jail. So that is the issue. You're dating somebody that's in jail that you didn't got your child to be attached to this person, right? And you guys haven't set down a strong foundation. It's not like you knew him beforehand. You found him while he was already locked up for 17 years. And a lot of times they say when you go to jail, that's the age, whatever age you go in is where the world stops for you basically in there, because on the outside world, you know how quickly electronics and things like that can change.
Right.
Just the world can change in a matter of 6 months, as we see with, where we at now with the COVID-19 situation. Even the racial tension, you know what I'm saying? So it's like things can change in 6 months. You're dealing with somebody who has been in prison for 17 years, Bill. And you got the nerve to be like, okay, I have this kid, and he loves on my child. Even if he say, because I guess he sent the little girl a birthday card, and she said she knew that he was basically like gonna be a good guy because of that. I said, listen, ma'am. First of all, let me just say this. These people that be locked up, they ain't got nothing but time. They got time to remember whatever you tell them to remember. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Literally, they got time. But this is my thing, though. For this is how I look at it. I do depend. This is my opinion. I do if somebody is going to pursue that avenue, like it's not for me because it's not for me simply because, like I said, I'm not going to subject myself to those kind of restrictions and stuff like that. Now it depends on what the person's locked up for or whatever. And like I said, time do stop, but I don't want to make people, because I think I kind of heard something similar, like whatever age you go in is the age you come out of, something like that. I don't necessarily believe that to be true, because a lot of those dudes go in there, they do, because they got number time to read, and some of them, half of them are lawyers anyway by the time they get out. They know the law, so they get time to read. I think things have drastically changed.
They choose to do their career. They ain't everybody.
Right, but I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just saying that can't be a blanketed statement. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them do choose to read. Some of them do choose to.
Yeah, that can't be a blanketed statement to say whatever. Like, I'm not saying that they cannot progress while they're in there, because some people do. But
Mhm.
that's not like everybody. I want to call everyone in there a lawyer. I won't call. I think a lot of stuff is word of mouth. Do I think people are going there like, let me get this law book? No, not necessarily, because I think you have other things too you have to worry about. Like, you have to worry about your safety. You have to worry about clicking up with certain
Yeah,
individuals. You have
definitely,
to worry
definitely.
about somebody trying to attack you and take whatever. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's a lot of things. And when you're in prison, or you know what I'm saying, even maybe even in jail, people are very territorial about everything. And I know that for
Yeah.
a fact. And this was in a kids time, kids facility that I worked at. Everything is territorial. Everything, because they looking for some form of ownership. You know what I'm saying? They try to make, especially if they went in um early, they trying to find not only some form of ownership, but they're trying to make it to be as real world as possible. And a lot of time, the systems that they have in place, they will give these people the opportunity to better themselves if they choose to. But I
Right.
don't think that's everybody,
Well,
because
yeah,
a lot of
I don't think
times.
everybody either.
But listen, let me just finish the statement about with the girl in the girl with the guy who was in there for 17 years. I wanted to finish my statement because I wanted to say that thought is, you finding somebody that's in prison. I'm not, that's either here or there. But like I said, when you add another element onto it, like adding a child into the mix,
Hmm.
what if that doesn't work? Because here's the thing: this guy who has been here for 17 years has to get acclimated. Now, great, he might have went while he was in jail. He might have went and got a GED and went to college, and because you can do all those things there, but there's a difference when you get into the real world and how you can acclimate yourself and the things that you have to be able to do and the things you have to see, because you only get a piece of it while you're in there. If they give you that, whether you can get on Facebook and all that stuff, that's only a tiny part of life on the outside of the world. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you get out, finding a job and having your own place, there's certain responsibilities, right, that you have to now assume when you get out of jail. And if you're on parole or whatever, they're gonna look at that like, you have to do this, this, and this. So jumping right into a relationship with somebody, because I think you do tend to lean on people while you in there. I
Hmm.
mean, I would, hell, you know what I'm saying, on the outside world, to give yourself some hope and some semblance of normalcy. However, this woman is sitting here like, we're gonna get together. Honestly, I found her a little creepy because she kept, the main thing she was talking about is having sex. She was more excited about, at least the way they was making the scene, she was more excited about having sex with him than he was. I mean, not that he wasn't, but he was, his, because his mom was there too, and it was like some dynamic. So it's like these people seem to be that meet these people that are already locked up. Seem to be some kind of. It's very voyeuristic. It's very like, I'm gonna find this person. At least I know where they at. They locked up. I know where
Right.
they at. What they doing.
Here's the
And
thing.
when they get out, they owe me. Wait a minute. They
Yeah.
owe me.
Yeah.
They gonna come live with
Yeah.
me. They gonna do what I have to say.
Right.
A lot of this, if you look at several different episodes, and they don't care who the person is. These people are very selfish in a way. Like, you can look at them like, dang, I can't believe they date somebody that's been or was a robber or got in for manslaughter. But when you start to break down the actual individual of the person that's searching for this person, you're like, okay, you're finding this person, but you got all these. He gonna come here. We gonna do this. I can't wait to
Right.
have sex with him. We gonna do this. He went in as a little boy. He gonna come out as a man. I done got the rose petals. Okay, now after you done slept with him and sex him all up and stuff, he still has to get acclimated with the real world while you done sex him all up. I'm sure he gonna enjoy it. Sure, boom, boom, boom. But you still dating someone that has a prison mentality for 17 years, and that's
Yeah.
my point.
No, but you gotta realize that it's really the reason I think those couples or those people are attracted to each other is because it's very beneficial for the both of them. For one, if you are locked up or whatever, and somebody takes an interest in you, then like you said, you have somebody on the outside. Now y'all writing every day and stuff like that. It might be talking or whatever, and then when you get out, you think like, I got a place to go. You thinking like, there's no reason like, shoot, why shouldn't I pursue this? I got a place to go. And plus, not trying to say like, put everything on looks or whatever, but if you a dude locked up and you got someone taking an interest in you, she might be a 6 on the outside, but for you on the inside, that's a supermodel. You like, hey, that's your new Halle Berry if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Very,
Yeah, so when you
I
get
know,
out,
yeah, but that
I'm pretty sure,
sounds
like, you know, what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure, like when you know while you're in there, that person take interest in you, and they've been consistent or whatever, you will attach, you will lock on to them or whatever. On the same side, on the other side is like you said, there are some people who, like you said, is very like almost like it's almost like predatory, like you were saying, or vulturistic to where, um, not saying it can't be real, but I do kind of agree with you on that part as far as they're looking for people or they went out and searched for people that are locked up. Like, hey, you when you I'm gonna do all this for you, and when you get out, you gonna owe me. That means you owe me your loyalty, you owe me your your time and
isn't
all.
that? But isn't that more like prison? Like being in prison again? You owe me because I dealt
Yeah,
with you while
I'm
you
saying
was
yeah,
in prison.
it's definitely
Like, is that not a form of bondage in some form? I owe you. I
you
bought you
can
clothes.
it can
I
go that far
got you a place to
because
stay. You owe me. I stuck with you down when nobody else. Come on, y'all can't tell me they ain't having these kind of situations.
yeah, it's definitely a thing of it definitely seems a little bit predatory when you, especially when you get
Yes,
people who are
very.
like 20 years older and 30 years older than the person that they're pursuing or what have you. So yeah, it's definitely a predatory thing. Like you owe me your loyalty because now when you get out or the one person gets out, you know they're dependent on you for a lot of things, whether it be food, shelter, money, simple like they're trying to get reacclimated into things because like I said, the world does kind of move fast, and you do have you will have a slight prison mentality to where you might be jumpy or paranoid every time somebody walk by you. You know what I'm saying? Because in prison you had to be that way, but like I said, when they get out or whatever, because that person also can get you right back in trouble. They can put anything like, hey, well, if you leave me, I'm gonna tell your parole officer this, that, and the third. So now you
Right.
got something. Now they got something hanging over you. Hopefully they don't do that, but let's face it, that people are gonna be people. That's a real possibility or what have you. So yeah, I can see how it can be a little bit predatory and very almost like a control. You got somebody that you can somewhat control. Now on the
Right.
flip side, the chance that the other person is taking is because let's say you with somebody, you talking to somebody, and let's say y'all don't get married or something like that, or even if y'all do, that person goes to stay with somebody else. The person might have a family, might have family on the outside still, so they go stay with their family. And what you got to realize is when they get back in the world, it's literally a whole new world to them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They
That's what I
wanna
was saying.
they wanna get out and explore. I'm gonna say
Right,
that.
but in this thing, because it's called love and lockout, majority of these people, like I want to
Um,
say, all of them are destined to want to be married. If
right.
they in a relationship, that was their goal,
But
I
my thing
guess.
is, they're taking the chance
And
with that person
so,
because they're taking a chance with that person. So because, like, it's like with a dude or whatever, when you get out, you're like, oh my god, all of these, I did not have you because now you are not the only Halle Berry he sees. So you know what I'm saying? You are taking a big risk with that. He getting out, he fresh out. He's like, look, I got all this surrounding me now, and like I said, if he doesn't come stay with you, or you know what I'm saying, or something to that nature, yeah, y'all might be married, but he been locked up for 17 years. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it like that and let you figure out the rest. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah.
Because he might feel one way who on the inside because he in the inside is it was just you
Well,
and
yeah. I mean, that's all of these. That's
yeah.
all of
But
these things
now
that
when he
you
get
have
out,
to take.
he might first thing you do you get out, let's go to the man, let's go to the club. His little partners or his friends or his cousins or whoever he's going to stay with want to show him the world now.
Well, this is what I'm saying. A lot of like that's what I'm saying. In the show, they're
Mhm.
getting released to their partners
Okay.
that they're with. So they're not really that could be a contention as an issue. However, a lot of these the way this show is kind of is saying like they get released to their partner. Like as soon as they get out, they're
Mhm.
showing the partner, the person who's on the outside coming to pick them up, waiting for them, and they come back to their house. Now there has been an episode where the guy was like, "Well, I don't want to," because the girl lived in a different state. I think she lived in like Wyoming, Colorado, somewhere up
Okay.
north, northeast, northwest, and he was like, I don't, oh, Utah. She lived in Utah. He was like, and he was from Compton or somewhere in California. He was like, I ain't about to. And you know, he had been in jail for a long time. He was like, I'm not about to do this. I'm not about to. So anyway, I think they did end up moving to LA. But you're right. And he was like, I want to go and drink and this and that. So yeah, you do have some of those people that are like that. But most part, they were married though. They got
Right.
married. I think that most of us, and you have a few of them that get married while they're in there. Like in this particular episode,
Yeah,
that
with the
lady was. But I'm saying, here's the thing. I think those people probably tend to last a little longer when they marry because they most of them have been married in the jail for a while.
mhm.
So you know, it's like whether they do it because they love the person for real or they doing it because it's beneficial because you know having you can get the conjugal visits and all that. But while you're in prison, but I'm just saying some of the it's like maybe one relationship I can see kind of working in each series. I'm like, okay, I can see why they work because
Yeah.
either she was immature and he was mature and he was like, okay, I'm going to make sure that you don't go back into your old ways. That was one person on the episode, well, one couple on the episode, or you know, they got married and they already had an understanding. But a lot of times, especially when they on drugs, like that's when you really see a train wreck happen. And it's like they're already on
Yeah.
drugs. They come out, they look somewhat decent because you know they couldn't get the drugs the way they needed to. They might have been able to get a little fix. Then they come out, they be skin and bones. About in 2 months time, and you like, wait a minute, like they, and then you like you looking at the person like you don't see they on drugs, and then you looking at the person like hell they on drugs too. Like it be a whole
It was I
situation.
know it was one episode that I had saw. The dude, he actually was the one who was on the outside, and he was pursuing a lady who had been locked up. And I think she did have a drug problem, but you know she got out and she looked good or whatever. You know, as far as she looked clean and like she was like she wouldn't getting drugs doing the drugs.
Right, right, right.
But she started kind of, as you can see, she started as time went on, she slowly started spazzing out. So yeah, she got clean while she was in jail, but I don't think she ever worked on her addiction problem.
Right.
And so she
And
would
then too, you get with these people that they trying to give you whatever because they just, oh, I'm so happy you out. I'm gonna do
yeah.
whatever you want, baby. I'm gonna whatever you want to do. I know
But
exactly the couple
she
you talking about, and you
I
can't
forget
get with somebody that's gonna give you everything you want, especially when you got addiction.
yeah, and so basically I think the dude was in the I think the dude was in the he was a former Marine or he was in the army previously. He was in some form of military prior to. And so she got out and I think one day she had just disappeared and I
Oh, he
think
wasn't no Marine. You been getting him mixed up. I know you talking about. I think his name was Clint. I forgot her name.
yeah. No, it wasn't on one of the clips you sent me. It was another
I know, I know,
okay.
I know.
But so I forgot what military service he was in, but yeah, so one day she had disappeared and they was out at dinner. She spazzed out and it was just like kind of crazy. And basically, long story short, he went and found her. He found her one time. He had came home. He found her in the bathroom. She had basically she had OD. She didn't die, but she had kind of like she passed out away from the drug. She was high as a kite. And so now he well she doesn't get clean. I'm have to leave her and stuff like that. So you're right. So that is one of those. It can be one of those situations where the person never really, let's say, the person never really worked on themselves while they're in prison. They just was not able to get to certain things they want to get to while they were in prison. Then you have I saw another one. Then this is one of the clips that you seen me where, and this couple had been married. This is what we talking about. Had been married. But I want to say he had been locked up for 7 years. They had been married for like
that
4,
one he was in
like 3 or 4. They had been married for like 3 or 4 years. So he was getting out or whatever.
2 years. I think she was married for.
They were married for 2 years.
Yeah, they
Okay,
married.
but they got married while he was in jail and
Right.
he was getting out or whatever. And he was like, man, no, he was driving. He got him driving the car, going to probation office or whatever.
Which he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah,
He had a
if you
license.
notice,
But okay.
and the thing is, if you notice, they switched over when.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah, it's just, but I was saying to me, it seemed like his mentality might have changed. He said, "Man, I don't want to be in those streets, man. I want to go home to my wife. I don't want to do this."
Well, in his particular situation, his wife, they lived in. She has a home already for him in Las Vegas.
You're right.
And but his daughter, he's been paroled out to where he's from, and
he couldn't get transferred to something.
He was trying to get a transfer. In the episode, they didn't allow it at that particular time, but he was just like, he don't need to be in that area because that's the area he got messed up to, and that happens a lot where you do want to do better, you do want to change your lifestyle, but sometimes you have to go back and you don't have no, think about it, you don't have nowhere to go. And let's say the only place you can go is back where the drama is, back where people are still doing what you don't want to do anymore, or in a lifestyle that you don't want to be in anymore. And plus, that particular guy in this episode, he was in the game. So it's a lot of people that have passed and probably looking for him as well. Maybe when you in gang, you do a lot of stuff. A lot of make a lot of enemies. And so basically, he was like, I need to go. I already have a house. My wife has a house in Las Vegas. We have a home there. But I don't know what's gonna happen with the episode. I think it's only like on the third episode or so. But
yeah, but I mean, I was mentioning that I was bringing that because it does matter, like if you work on yourself or not. And I think for him, he kind of like, man, yeah, I worked on my case, man, and I did this, and just kind of doing certain.
But that was just doing the transfer,
right? I'm saying, but I guess changing your mindset to.
That's why he's telling us we don't know what he's gonna do because let me tell you.
I get that, but we only know what we see so far. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, that was the part I said to you. The reason I said his mindset ain't really changed. He probably just like, nah, I want to go to Vegas. I get that, but at the same time, when he first got out, he did go. He was supposed to go to California. They did fly to Vegas. He said. Because even his aunt had called and was like, yeah, you can't just leave. If you're supposed to go to be in California, you got to go to California. They actually flew first to Las Vegas. And he was like, man, I don't care what I do. Because I think there is a certain defiance when you get out. It's like, I'm free now. Even if you're on parole, you're like, I'm free now. I'm going to do what I want. And he flew to Las Vegas when he was supposed to be in California. So there's a defiance there anyway. But then he flew back and was like, I got to go back because I got to check in. So he had to check in. So they had to hurry up and rush back. So there is a defiance that he has automatically.
I don't know why I keep forgetting, and I've done this so many times, that Las Vegas is Nevada, not California. I don't know why my brain, every time I hear the word Las Vegas, I think California automatically for some reason. But it's not. So when she was like, yeah, he went to, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he went to Las Vegas. But yeah, I keep forgetting that Las Vegas is Nevada, not
it's a state.
It's not in California. So I'm like, yeah, he went to Atlanta. He supposed to be in Augusta. Who cares? Like, what I'm saying? Who cares? But yeah.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll keep watching. It ain't too much on TV.
Yeah. No, I did kind of was looking at the one scenario, the one clip you had sent me, was looking like, come on, dude. I think the dude was like 51 or something like that, and the girl was like 20 something, and she looked like she strung out just a little bit.
Oh, she's like, real thin. Yeah, she is on drugs.
Yeah. And so he was like, yeah, he went to the airport waiting for her to get off the plane or something like that. And
see, that's another thing. In that particular episode, let me finish because I know you didn't see it. He's like, first of all, this man is delusional on so many different levels. I feel for him because this particular guy stated that he lost his son. He had a son, I think was a teenager at the time, and he lost him. And this girl has a daughter that is a young, like, I think she's like 11 or something like that. She's a young girl, and the mother is locked up. He's enamored with this lady who is young and to him looks good. And clearly he said stuff like, literally he has said, well, he's one of those people that's in denial of the whole situation. I don't even think he realized she in jail. Like, if I'm really honest, he's like, trouble just follows her because she's pretty, she's young, and she's white. I'm like, okay, so because she's pretty, she's young, she's white, it just can't be her. And but when you find her,
that doesn't sound right.
Wait a minute. But when you listen to her talk, she's like, I just like being there. Like, this little girl tells you, I sold drugs, I like a certain lifestyle. Like, I'm like, maybe he need to look at the clips that she's sending to us that we can see as a viewer.
They not on the same page.
They not on the same page. He's sitting there like, I don't know why she's in. Like, I mean, she wants to change her life. He's from New York. He moved down from New York to go to Mississippi, of all places. And I'm from Mississippi, so, I know. But he moves down from New York to go to Mississippi because that's where she's going to be at. I think her grandmother or her mother, I think it's her mother. I thought it was her grandmother. But her mother has her daughter, okay? And it's taking care of this child. Again, here's another situation where it's reversed, though. The mother is locked up, and this man that she don't even really know is around her child. It's
too much.
And he's a sugar daddy, basically. And when he's packing, a lot of these men, they have a creep factor of like a 1,000. I packed her these bras and these panties. She's gonna look good on these panties. It's just like, okay,
Now,
we
are you
understand
talking
you
about?
can have
Are
sex with
you
her,
are
but
you are you talking
sir,
about? Are you talking about the one with the cleft lip? I think he had like a lip thing going on.
he got a duck lip. It's not cleft.
Okay,
His lip goes out. It looks like he has some kind of fillers in there. I think that's just his face.
okay,
That's the guy I'm talking about. That's the clip
okay,
I sent
okay.
you.
All right,
So
cool.
what happened is they don't say it yet, but because even her mother said, I think she got in trouble. He went there to get her, but she didn't get off the plane. What
Right.
happened was he was waiting. He was trying to get all pissy with.
Yeah.
He started
I
calling the
saw
jail
that.
like, "Where is she?" First of all, you're not married to her. You're not a family member, so they probably not gonna release any information to you. But
Can you? I
and
think
then if you would have
screenshot,
looked at
look
the
it up, or
later
you don't want
episode,
to.
if you would have looked at the later episode, they do end up calling and they're like, well, that's not public information, but we can't tell you she's still locked up. And so it's one of those situations where the guy's just like, oh, they're not letting me know anything and they're being an asshole. And then even the mother has some form of denial. But then she's like, so you can't, because the daughter's like, I hate how they are showcasing this little girl, like they're exploiting her pain. Like she was like, I cried for 2 hours straight because I thought my mother was coming home and she wasn't. Even though it's not her grandmother's responsibility to take care of her, that grandmother shouldn't even put her on camera like that to say all of that. She's
Mm.
like, I cried for 2 hours, and the grandmother's like, they don't care that she had to cry for 2 hours. Your daughter that's in jail should be doing better than. She shouldn't get in situations where she's getting locked up or she's in prison. And if she's supposed to get out, I think she got in trouble before she was supposed to get out.
Right,
Or she
and
maybe
then
didn't want
serve
to come
time.
out. Some people, they got it good in there. I'm telling you, they the top dog in there. They don't want to get out of prison. But it seemed like she may have gotten in trouble while she
Mm.
was in there and was supposed to be released, and then she pushed her date back. Instead of her calling him and let him know, or maybe she couldn't call him, she has these people from her mother, her child, and this guy thinking that, like, I don't know why they push my date. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to live my best life and be like a great human being. But she's very manipulating. And so I'm like, you got this man who's in denial because he's looking for something, of course. Because like a lot of them people that be looking for people, he actually said I met her when he met her, he went to a prison website to find her
Right. I
and
don't.
saw her.
That's weird to me. Now, that is very weird to me. And like you said, he does look like he's a little delusional. Because see, I remember the part you're talking about when he was calling around on the phone or whatever. He was like he was trying to get some information or something like that, and he said, "Well,
The privilege of it all.
yeah." He was like, is
That's
it
that
that
white
is
privilege.
you can't look or you don't feel like looking?" And I'm like, motherfucker, regardless, you're not getting information right now. Now, like, you know what I'm saying? But so it was like he was getting pissy with them or something like that, and they told me, you got to call back in a certain time or something like that to get information. But they say if you're not married to this person, and clearly, like you said, she got in trouble, or she skipped the plane. Like it's something. Clearly, she disappeared. She vanished on you, motherfuckers, real smooth. Like, yeah, but I think he definitely was the dude because he was like I think he was like 30 years older than her,
Right.
and it was like she's one of those things where like he is beneficial to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna, so now when she get out, she had more options or something like that. I don't know if he sent her money or anything like that. I'm not aware, but it's kind of like when she got out, she can go anywhere she wants to. You were there for while she was in prison, yeah, but now she out. Go anywhere she want to, do whatever she want. You know what I'm saying? She can disappear on y'all. She ain't got to come home. I just thought that was real. But yeah, to me, he looked like the creep factor was times 10. It really was times 10.
Okay, so now that we know like about this show and everything, is it something you think you would watch?
I have to watch it in passing because I'll be cracking up too much. I would have to keep stopping the show and be laughing at them, and not the ones who, of course, who were probably serious about it. But like I said, I've seen because this is not my first time hearing about the show or watching the show, or whatever. But most of them, you be like, "Yo, that's some goofball shit."
Right.
That's some real goofball shit. You know what I'm saying?
Second question: could you date somebody that was locked up, and if so, what would be the stipulations?
Nah, I mean, put it like this: if I knew them before they got locked up,
Mm-hmm.
that's a different situation. Because like, oh, we know this my girlfriend before you got locked up, and it would depend on why they got locked up. You know, context is everything, I believe.
So you would wait for the person?
Depends on why they got locked up. If they got locked up for like defending me or some shit, then that's different. Because
Yeah, you said I owe him.
That's my
I
baby boo.
owe
She would, you know, she busted
my
me
baby
for
boo.
me because, you know what I'm saying, he was about to shoot me in the face. I had to, you know, she held down. I got, you know, but she did some dumb shit she didn't did. I'm like, man, listen, look at her. We ain't gonna make it.
Right. Even if she was gonna be in there for 4 years.
We mean like we in what context? She started doing
She
dumb shit.
got locked. She was defending you. No, she was defending you and she got locked up.
If it's something on my behalf, then I think I will at least make the attempt to wait. I'm gonna say yes because I will at least make the attempt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or at least
I'll answer that question.
Because I think that's a little bit. You do order. You do. In my opinion, this is me. You do owe the person a certain amount of loyalty, a certain amount of, you know, something, because they went to jail for you, defending you or some sort of way. So.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. They owe you. They owe you. Okay. So. Okay. So answer the question. Would I watch the show? Yes, because I've already been watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Will
Yeah.
Would I date somebody that's been locked up? No. That's gonna be a hard no for me. Um, I even had this conversation as like somebody was like, so what if they had went in before? I think it depends on what they go in for. For example, like these days black men can go in for, and I just gonna say this. I typically date black men. Not that I won't date any other race, but I typically will date black men. And
so it depends on the context.
You guys don't have it the easiest. I mean, we don't either, but and I'm a black woman, but y'all can be driving and get locked up for some dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying?
So it would depend on the context.
So hold on a sec. So I think it depends on what he goes in for.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say I won't even say because he was defending me, but if it's something that even then I think we would have to have a conversation because I have these three things. I was like when I date someone off the rip, I always be like, there's three things that we're not the cheating thing. I'm not gonna stick around for that. Like I don't believe in like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm not one of those women that's gonna like give me chances. The second thing is don't put your hands on me. I will call the cops. I put that out there right off the bat. I don't play fight with men. I know men are stronger than women. I ain't got time for that. I don't play with games. And third thing, if you get locked up, don't expect me to wait. I'm one of the people that's like, I would respect you more if like, I'm getting locked up and you know what, I don't think you should put your life on hold for me because I done did whatever I done did. But like I said, so those are three things that's like my little my little
so let me ask this question. So
well, I ain't there, hold on. So I was just thinking like if he goes in and it's for like protesting, most times those not gonna be for a long time. Yeah, I'm gonna stand by you from protesting for what's right or something that's not your fault. I can see me wanting to stick around. Not like I owe you, because I have a thing about that. Like I don't feel like I owe any. That shouldn't be a relationship. I don't know if that's a healthy relationship. I feel like you owe somebody something. But I get the context in that you're saying it. But I don't feel like I should have to owe anybody nothing. No, I should owe me anything. But I do feel like I want to fight to I want to help you with your case. Like I'm one of them people like, okay, what we gotta do? Because I'm gonna get down. My background is political science, so who we got to reach out to? I gotta call lawmakers. I'm gonna be doing my stuff on the outside to help you get out. That's how I feel about that. But when it's like 7, 8, 10 years, I'm not sure.
No, I think myself nothing that long.
But that's what I was asking you. That's what I said in there. I was like, even if it was like 4 years, 2 years, things like that. So it depends on. I think I would have to do case by case basis to be honest.
Right. That's what I said. It depends all on the context of what we're working with. Like, let's say somebody breaks into your house and your boyfriend jump up and he do his thing or whatever, but he go to jail for like manslaughter, and it's like, hey.
We're gonna fight that. Yeah, we're gonna fight.
After y'all fight and everything, he get his time with her. He's like, well, he got to do at least 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He got to do at least 3 years. Would you wait 3 years?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like after y'all done fought it, y'all done got all the time that y'all can get, that he gonna get off, and stuff like that. Like, well, he got to do at least 3 years because you know what I'm saying. He beat the dude up too bad. You know what I'm saying? Dude ended up dying. He had to beat him up. That's always you had to go to that extent but he didn't do it too bad and do them dying or what have you, right? It's like, would you
Right.
wait? Would you wait those 3 years? That kind of. I'm thinking about like that kind of context. Now
Mm.
they talking about 25 years. I'm like, listen, baby, listen, girl, you know, I love you. You always gonna be my number one, but
Wow, wow,
you always my
wow.
number one, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, if you got to be selfish, don't be selfish.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, it depends on the amount of time we're talking about, what they go to jail for, and so because like if you go to jail for some dumb shit, I ain't better rock you. I don't care if it's you can be like, well, it's only 6 months. I'm good.
Yeah, so those are my take on that show, and I just was like, wow, wow. That show, like I said, it's definitely worth a watch. Like, it's
Yeah,
definitely worth a watch.
it's very entertaining. I will say that it is a very entertaining show.
So you guys below, or comment to us and let us know, would you date someone that is currently in prison that you don't know? Like, would you meet them like that? Like, that's how you met them. They're already in prison, and would you wait for them? Like, is this something that you'd be interested in? Times is hard. You can't go nowhere anyway. It
And
ain't like easy.
y'all already
it's,
locked down. You know what I'm saying?
it's not like he can take you anywhere. Um, I'm gonna touch on this next show real quick called Marriage at First Sight. This one is a little different. This one has about people that get married at first sight. So as soon as they meet each other, they're already in tuxedo and wedding gown. The
Yeah,
minute
it's on.
they're getting married, they have they're being brought together because they chose to do this experiment. Because that's what it kind of is. They don't know if it's gonna work or not, but
Right.
be on this show to do this experiment. And they have had with this particular one, they have doctors, psychiatrists, not necessarily doctors, but doctors and psychiatrists too, and I think it's like relationship experts and maybe even a minister. These people all come together and compile, I guess, a spreadsheet of sorts.
It's like
You know,
it's like a real life eHarmony type of shit.
right? And match them together.
Right.
So yeah, so that is like the premise, and so I think they normally have about, if I'm not mistaken, they normally have about 5 couples. In this particular episode, there are some couples that stand out like they could make it. There's 2 black couples on there. Um, and then there's like this reserved couple where he's like scared of life. You guys really have to watch these shows. I mean, it's some great television. It makes you laugh just a little. Cordero, do you think you could go on a show like Married at First Sight?
No.
Why?
That to me is some. Put like this: for the fun aspect, I can see why that could be like an exciting thing. But for me, on a realistic life aspect, it seems like an arranged marriage type of thing.
It is arranged.
Yeah, so that's how I'm like, nah.
But they arranged it by what you would say on your catalog. So let's say in your catalog, you like, I'm married this and this and this. They try to find things. They try to find someone that they can match you with that either compliment you.
Plus, this is what I found out. Like I said, me, you have both said this plenty of times. Dating someone, you find out more about what you don't like than what you do like. So I might say, yeah, I mean, like, I might say I like this about this particular. Oh, I like a girl to do this and a girl to do that.
Well, no, that's not. I don't think that's how they ask you. I think they ask you about yourself. It's more like they diagnose you. They get your likes and dislikes true enough, and what things you like doing. You want to have kids. They ask you about yourself. They profile you basically.
Okay, so
and then they match you.
It's not a questionnaire of the other person, more so they
about you exactly.
Okay, that's probably I was kind of throwing off. But I was like, because
I'm sure they probably do ask you
like do you like the tall,
outside your race?
Right.
Outside your race. Do you need someone that's going to be extra, taller than you? Like, do you have a weight requirement? Do you have like an eye color? I'm sure they ask you certain things because some people are just attracted to certain things, and that's not a bad thing. It's just some things you just are attracted to. But I think that they go deeper than that, and they profile you, and they say, okay, this is what I think this person needs, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. I don't know, man. That's a very I'm gonna still say no. I don't think I would just jump in with somebody and just like, okay, we married now. Let's do this. Because my thing is, say you two are okay. You all officially married now. You didn't say what I do in the first day. It seemed like you still. To me, it seemed like you're just dating now from that point. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Is there okay? Put like this. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
During a certain time period, do they have a certain time period where they can just dissolve the marriage?
Yes.
So
I'm like, well, y'all got me in this, get me out.
Well, you said she was perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Well, nah, I ain't, you know.
So let me ask you this question. In your since you clearly you watch the show plenty more times than I have. In your thing, what's the percentage of people that actually stay together versus the percentage of people that break up?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
And some people you know now going like, yeah, they ain't moving. They ain't shot in hell.
The doctors messed up on this one here.
It's very entertaining. So you guys let us know below though. Would you go on a show like a marriage at first sight? Would you, even if it wasn't a show, would you marry someone at first sight, not
would you go
knowing nothing about them, and you just going on there to marry them, and maybe in 4 months you like, okay, if it doesn't work, you can get annulment or whatever. But you know, I
think that's a pretty cool little.
Because look, you don't know their finances, you don't know where they live, if they clean, you don't know none of that. I mean, hell, I guess you could say you don't know that about some people. You don't ask.
But I guess that's the reason why like the doctors will profile you. Like, what do you know? Kind of like what you look for. They didn't have this shit together. Like, first, give me a good foundation, decent credit score. Got you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, that's interesting.
Decent credit score. That's funny.
I'm gonna go check out some of these episodes. Is there a particular streaming service or channel that we could kind of watch these on? Like one series you said like it's like 11 seasons or whatever. So they should have all of them kind of like listed out so we can see the entire story from start to finish of some of these couples or something like that.
I've been watching it on Hulu. I don't know what show. I feel like it's on. I don't know what network it's on.
But they do have like.
I think it's on Lifetime, if I'm not mistaken.
But they do have they do have the full length like shows on like Hulu. Like they have the full length.
Oh yeah, they do.
Okay.
Now it's on Lifetime. The Marriage at First Sight is on Lifetime. Now, the Love at the Lockup. I don't know what station it's on. I watched that on YouTube.
Okay, but it's full episodes on YouTube though, right?
Say it one more time.
Is it full episodes on YouTube?
Yeah, they're full episodes on YouTube. So that's where I watch Love at the Lockup. So yeah, just let us know. Like I said, would you marry somebody? Marriage at first sight? Like, would you be interested in something like that?
Would you do it?
Would you do it?
Ooh.
Would you go? Would you attempt that? You know, and if you would attempt it, tell us why. I'm interested in to know. Like, why would you attempt that?
It's on Netflix too. You know,
what is Love at the Lockup?
So Marriage at First Sight is on Netflix, Hulu, like you said.
Okay.
That's Married at First Sight, and see Love After Lockup. It seems like this is only on YouTube. It seems like it's only way you're gonna watch it for free is on YouTube. Or no, it says YouTube subscription, so never mind. And Amazon Prime Video, but I think you actually got to pay for the stuff. So you might catch some of it on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah. So YouTube and Amazon Prime, Google Play, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've only ever watched Love at the Lockup. I haven't watched it on. I've only watched it on my phone, I believe. So I haven't. Okay. But either way, it's hella funny. Like, okay, that's like if you want comedic, really. I mean, it's cringe worthy.
Yeah. Some of the clips you see.
Marriage at First Sight does have its cringe-worthy moments as well, but I find myself doing more like, oh, that's sweet. Oh, I hope they work out.
Yeah,
Marriage at First Sight.
I can see that.
With the Love at the Lockup, I'm like, oh God. I'm like, this is I can't watch. I find myself watching it through my fingers. I'm like, oh God, okay. Let me take my head down. Oh God, it hurts. Stop. But I keep watching it. Sometimes I'm just like, this an idiot. You stupid. And
God damn it, Charles.
Exactly.
So, Yeah. But shoot. All right. Cool. I'm gonna go check some of that out. You know, since I got my little day off, I'm gonna go check some of this out.
All right, well, guys, that has been us. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter if you are not already. Share our podcast. Just get us out there. Comment below. We love when you guys comment on Instagram and on YouTube and everywhere else that you want to comment. Again, we need interaction feedback. So our interactive feedback rather. So if you guys want us to talk about something in particular, we're happy to review that and see if that's something we can do. To spice it up, we are on Anchor, of course, YouTube. Subscribe to us. Click that notification bell on there so that you can get all the good stuff that we have when we get have it when we first come out. We're on Spotify and pretty much any of your favorite streaming platforms you can find us on. Cause we out there, we out here. Okay.
Ooh, look at you with the social media push. Go ahead,
I'm
girl.
trying to get us out there,
Go ahead.
spread the love, share us around, share us to friends and stuff. I'm gonna try to have us put a link below so it'll be easier for you guys to get to and just share it on Instagram because I know we put snippets out there. We hope you guys are enjoying our snippet. We really enjoy doing this podcast. We do it once, well, twice
I'm
a
like,
month.
mhm.
We do it twice a month for you guys, and we really enjoy it. We pretty much talk about any topic. Um, and so, like I said, this has been season 2, episode 7. We appreciate you listening.
Peace.
Peace.